Yes, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men are victims of some form of physical violence. That's according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. WEAR's Sade Ray joins us live in the studio. Sade, a vigil was held today in Pensacola to remember those who suffered from this violence.
Aubrey, FavorHouse officials tell me last year alone, there were about 10 deaths related to domestic violence in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties. Domestic violence can happen to anyone.
We know that there are tens of thousands of people that are suffering in silence.
Tracy Hodson is the executive director for FavorHouse of Northwest Florida, a center for victims and survivors. She says more than 300 people came to FavorHouse last year. Hudson tells me victims are often embarrassed and sometimes avoid seeking help.
And so they're suffering in silence because they're afraid. They've been told that they're going to, be killed, and they've had guns pulled on them, and they believe that.
Had bruised ribs. Or there was a time he drugged me across the floor and I still have the scar.
Tara Spencer is a survivor of domestic violence. She explained the fear every victim faces when they're thinking about leaving an unhealthy relationship.
Is the most dangerous thing to do is to get away from an abuser, because they don't want you to leave and they will do anything to keep you there.
Saturday, FavorHouse held a vigil to remember people suffering from this violence. Hodson says this is also to empower others to have hope and start conversations to help others. Spencer says it's easy to fall into a relationship with an abuser since they hide that side of them for so long.
They separate you from people and they make you feel as if you're totally dependent on them in all kind of ways. They make you feel less than, they mess with your security and who you are as a person.
Spencer says this can make it hard for victims to leave, or why they could come back many times before they could get the courage to leave for good. But she says there's still light at the end of the tunnel.
That one person, that one advocate that stops them from going back. You just never know. You could be that one person if you just greet them without judgment and just let them know that they're safe.
There is a national hotline to call if anyone needs help. That number is 1-800-799-7233.